What's up, everybody? It's the barbecue cop back at you guys. I know it's been a little while since I had a chance to put up a video, but it's a beautiful, sunny, cool morning here in Warner Robins, Georgia, and I'm gonna go ahead and break the old smokers out and do a little something this morning. Today we're gonna do a lot of chicken. I got some chicken that I bought that's parted up already. Legs, thighs, wings, and breast. And I'm going to try them a couple of different kinds of ways. I've been watching a lot of barbecue pit masters and a lot of other shows, reading a lot of articles, and talking about competition chicken and what these guys do. So today I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to get both of the smokers going. I'm going to cook some in pans, going to put some directly on the smoker. And do some other things. Also, yesterday went and had to re-up on some of my wood. As you can see, I always use the B&B products. Loving their stuff. The charcoal is outstanding. I've always used the apple wood logs and the hickory chunks, and kind of do a little mix of the two. And that's what I have here inside of this. So we'll be trying those out, and also we'll be breaking out the old smoker here, the Oklahoma Joe, the granddaddy. Always does well. So we're gonna fire it up today, and also gonna use my little charbroil. This is where I started, guys. This was the first smoker, I guess, little grill that I had where I started to smoke meats with, and that's still my quick go-to for today. So we're gonna put a couple of things out here on it and get it going. Also, guys, I went while I usually get my charcoal and my wood from Academy Sports. I always have a great selection, plenty of wood. It's usually pretty fresh and it burns very well. While I was there yesterday, I got some seasoning from Big Mo Cason. If you guys follow Barbecue Pit Masters, he was one of the judges this year on the past episodes, and he's done a lot of competitions and done a lot of things. I cracked that rub open yesterday just to put a pinch on it and taste it, and it was delicious. So I can't wait to get it on some of this chicken to see what it turns out. And it's actually a chicken rub, very sweet, little heat, some really good spices in it. But it tasted really good. So I can't wait to try it on this chicken. So we're gonna get this thing fired up here in just a few minutes and get everything going. Also, guys, I had somebody in one of my other videos where talking. It was a video I was watching on one of the Facebook channels that I'm a part of, where they talked about starting a fire. I use these fire starter cubes. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those before, and I'll let you see it when I light it up here. They're made specifically for this. It's a little wax cube, but it's in a plastic piece of paper, and all of it burns. It doesn't leave any kind of taste in your food, but it is excellent when it comes to getting your fire started. And I use my chimney, as you can see down here. I use my chimney. So I always go out, get my chimney full. I use a fire starter to start it with, and then if I need any paper to kind of keep it going, usually stuff in one round of paper, newspaper in it will keep it, finish it and get it where it needs to be. So we're gonna get started here in just a few minutes, get everything fired up. Again, this is gonna be competition style chicken, done on the Oklahoma Joe and the charbroil. We're gonna try it a couple of different ways and see which way turns out the best. See you guys soon. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get the fire started here. First, I want to show you these. This is what I was telling you about, excuse me, when I was on one of the other websites, on one of the chats, I guess on Facebook. Somebody was asking about the best way to start a fire. This is what I use. This is I got it from Walmart, but I'm sure other places sell it. But they are really easy to use. As you can see, it's laying right here. And we got us a chimney just about full here. This is about enough, probably more than enough to get this little smoker going here. So, but really, all you have to do with these things is once you get I can get my clicker to fire up here. Just did. I knew it would do this. Get the fire. It's a little windy out here. see. There we go. If we can get it going here, you just light it, and once it gets going, you can see it just kind of takes off. Scoot your coals over it, and it's going. You can see it blazes a great fire in there. Gets the smoke coming out that chimney to get those coals ready. So very easy, quick little technique. And again, they're Duraflame, I think is the name of it. Yeah, Duraflame fire starter cubes. They're very inexpensive. This particular one has 18 in the box. But again, they're very inexpensive. I'm down to my last 2 or 3. So I've been using them for a while. One thing about the B&B coal, if you're using it, what you got to be aware of is that especially the competition style is harder to light for some reason. Once it gets going, it definitely burns longer, everything that you want, but it is a little harder to get started. So I always, when I start using this really ease that up. So another little tip. So we'll let these get going, and we'll go inside and take a look at the meat. All right, guys, while the fire's getting started outside, I just want to show you real quick before we season this chicken up. We got the legs here, the breast, some wings and breast, and then the sink over here. We're getting ready to put the thighs up. I want to show you this rub by Big Mo Cason, this chicken rub. Again, this stuff is outstanding. The flavor is amazing. And if he's putting this on his chicken, I'm really curious as to see what it tastes like. Usually not a big commercial rub guy. Usually what I do for my rubs is just take the spices and seasonings that I like, take them usually in equal parts and mix them up, and usually have really great results. But, after tasting this, it was like $9 or $10 in Academy. So I said, may as well give it a try. So, but so far so good. Just tasting it, it tastes really good. So we'll see how it does on the chicken. So we'll get this chicken seasoned up, get the fire started out here, and we'll put the first set of things out here to let them get started. They put the some dark meat out here first on the small pit probably, so we can get it going. But all we're gonna do is add some squeezed butter to it. That's typically what these guys are doing in the competition stuff to capture the moisture and to break it down. And I've actually done this a couple of times before I did a video. And a couple of things that I've learned from the squeezed butter is, usually they say use the pan about 1/3 of the way full. If you do that, I would certainly really watch the temperature, and I usually like to cook 250, 275. I would certainly recommend a lower cooking temperature, and that's what I'm going to try today, is to cook at a lower temperature. Cooking at a higher temperature, when it was done, it was like fall off the bone, like really fall off the bone. When I tried to pick pieces up, the meat fell off. It was that tender. So the butter certainly breaks it down. It gives you that bite through skin that you're looking for. But you have to be careful too, because if you overcook it, like which I'm pretty sure that I did during those times, you can't cook it to the temperatures that you're normally used to. At least I couldn't. I usually pull my chicken around 165 to 175, somewhere in that range. And when I let it cook that long, it was, it was good and done. I could hardly pick the pieces up with some tongs while the meat was falling off of the bone. That was good. I still got some great reviews from it, but competition cooking is different from backyard cooking. It's obvious when you watch the shows. People want to fall off the bone ribs. When you cook them at home, competition, that would get you thrown out. So, you got to be able to cook it to a certain level where it stays on the bone, clean bite through, that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to try to play around with today. So either way, we're going to end up with some really good stuff. I enjoyed the chicken the last time. The skin was bite through, which is really important to me. I don't like that tough, rubbery skin on chicken. I can't eat it. That's just too much for me. So we're gonna give it a try here, get it cleaned up, apply some rub to it, get it rubbed down, get some butter on it, and get it out here on the pit. All right, guys, it's been about an hour or so since I got into this cook. Got both of the pits loaded down. You see, we're smoking good here. Just On the Oklahoma Joe, we've got the wings, the legs, and a few breasts. And on the char grill here, it's chicken breasts only. I'm about to add some thighs to it, the chicken thighs that were in the pack as well. Just want to open this thing up, take a look at it. So it's been about an hour, so we can see how it looks. It's about time to add some more wood to it to get our smoke going back up good again. So let's see what we got. Looking good, guys. Really, really pleased with how this is looking. The rub is sticking really good to the chicken, and looks like that pan is rendering the extra little fat out of it, and that butter is coming down off of it great. So looks really good. I'm gonna close it down to preserve the heat, add some more wood to it here in just a few minutes. This one just got going, so there's nothing really to see here just yet, but we are smoking good with it. So as soon as I get some wood added, well, we're cooking around 225 for these chicken breasts, so it's gonna take a little while. So low and slow. We're gonna try that and see how it works. Check back in with you guys shortly. All right, guys, just pulled the chicken thighs off of the smoker, and I'm gonna tell you, really, really impressed with how this turned out. The seasoning, the rub from Big Mo Cason stayed in place. These thighs look absolutely amazing. The butter drew some of the extra fat off of the thighs, and each one of these pieces look incredible. Now, I don't eat chicken thighs. I don't really care for it for the texture of it. These are for my son, so I'm going to let him try it and tell you what he thinks about it. The breasts are almost done, and I'm going to transfer those legs on the smoker. They are cooking a little bit slower on the Oklahoma Joe because there's so much more space. But absolutely 100% pleased with the tenderness of these. When you poke them, you can see the skin is definitely loose and bite through. They're probing around 165, 170, between 165 and 175. And, but they are good, juicy, moist, and they look absolutely delicious. So as soon as the other pieces come off, we'll give you a sneak peek at those as well, so you can see what the finished product was, and then we'll try a piece to see how that seasoning holds up, that spice rub from Big Mo Cason, and give you my opinion on that as well. All right, guys, here it is, the finished product. This is all the dark meat, the legs and thighs. You see those thighs have been sitting for a while, still holding the flavor, the color. Everything's looking really, really good. Really happy how those legs turned out as well. Again, I'm not a dark meat guy, but held his own. Here's the white meat. This is what I prefer to eat. The chicken breast, the wings, all of it held up very well. Got to give a big shout out to Mo Cason and this this rub. This stuff, this chicken rub really held its own. Still gonna let the chicken rest for a little bit, and I'll come back and do a taste test, and we'll talk about how good it tastes for the flavor. But as far as holding up under the heat and still being able to see the seasoning itself, I mean, you can just look at this and see that, the pieces are pretty much uniform with the way it shook out. Everything held its own. I mean, even on this chicken, you can see the same, pepper specks that you see it just about on everything. So really, really pleased and happy with the way that everything turned out. So last thing is the taste test. We'll do that in just a few minutes and let you know. All right, guys, and the very last thing here, this taste test. Just cut into this chicken breast. You can see it's still juice and moist. Been sitting probably an hour, hour and a half or so now. And the flavor, let me tell you guys, highly, highly recommend this Big Mo Cason chicken rub. It's sweet, it's got the heat, and I tell you, I used to listen to those guys say that all the time when they describe other pit masters, their seasonings that they put on this stuff. But when you taste this, you really get the taste of the sweet and the heat, both. It's not overpowering. I don't like real hot, spicy stuff. It's just like a after kick on the back end. But the flavor is good. It's delicious. The chicken turned out well. I also highly recommend putting that squeeze butter. This was like parquet, I think it was. A squeeze butter is what I did. Once I cleaned my chicken, I dried it, patted it dry, hit it with a squeeze butter, got some plastic gloves, rubbed it all around the chicken, then hit it with the seasoning, let it sit for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then out to the smoker. So everything turned out well. Another last look at everything. Those wings, oh my goodness, came out perfect. Chicken breast. You can take a good look here and see everything turned out very well. This is the dark meat. Notice that flavoring from that rub. You know, just about every piece you can see the pepper flakes and the other ingredients that are in it. And those are the thighs. And the thighs have been off longer than anything. But overall, very happy with all of this, guys. Got me some baked beans that I made and some kebabs I made for my wife. Let's see if I can get you over here to check these kebabs out. These are the kebabs I made for my wife. She loves those. So, all in all, great cook, guys. Listen, I need your help on two things. Number one, I want you to like and subscribe. Getting a lot of views on my videos. I don't ask a lot of people to subscribe. I'd appreciate it that if you would. I want you to follow me. I know I don't put up videos as often as some other folks do, but you know, of course, you guys know I'm a police officer full time, so that prevents me from every week putting something up. So again, I'm just a cop who loves the barbecue. Everywhere I go, if I go investigate a case in another part of Georgia, I'm always finding the next barbecue joint and posting that about my experience at that place. So I want you to like and subscribe. Please do that for me. The second thing is I want you to be safe. There's so much stuff happening in the world today with churches being shot up and, you know, shootings in different places. You know, and I'm not here to push, you know, the gun thing one way or another. I've been carrying a gun for, 22 years now, and I don't plan on stopping. But we know there are people who are out here to do us harm. So, if you're going to carry a firearm, please be responsible, learn how to use it, how to take it apart, how to shoot it, how to clear malfunction, so on and so forth, so you can protect yourself and your family. Show somebody else how to do it. That's another part of my business that I do is firearms training. So if you're in Georgia, in the middle Georgia area, then hit me up. I'd love for you to attend one of my classes. But be safe out there. Look out for one another. Be kind to everybody. And remember, like and subscribe. And until the next time, the Barbecue Cop is out. Thanks.